As Old Testament scholar Meredith Kline observed decades ago, biblical anthropomorphism avoids, quote, attributing to the Holy One of Israel the erotic passions and sexual functions characteristic of the gods of pagan mythology. 2. The article also took a misstep in combining spiritual language and sexual language to talk about marital intimacy between husband and wife. To be sure, there is a time for spiritual language and a time for explicitly sexual language. There is also a time to put the languages together, but very carefully. There's a reason Paul speaks of our, quote, unpresentable parts when describing the church as the body of Christ and each of us as members. If someone took Paul's metaphor and started naming church members as sexual body parts, the language wouldn't be exactly wrong, but it would be unwise and not keeping with biblical modesty and restraint. Yes, the prophets sometimes used shocking sexual language, think Ezekiel, for example, but they were meaning to embarrass their sinful hearers, not to make a sensitive point of pastoral application. And this is an aside from the article here, just a moment. I think that's a really important point, and I hope others will expound on it. The way in which the prophets use explicit sexual language is to embarrass and to shame sinners. So it says something about the normally veiled, restrained, modest way in which the Bible talks about sexual relations. Yes, there's a whole book, Song of Solomon, that uses poetry and euphemism. So it's not that sex within marriage is dirty in any way, but it doesn't go to a voyeuristic. It doesn't speak in technical, exact ways. It's like the curtain is pulled shut when describing the sexual activity between husband and wife. And the only time it's pulled open is to show with shame the kind of spiritual adultery and idolatry for which sex is sometimes a metaphor. So end of parentheses there.